Hello. Good morning everyone. So today is our last day of our national level workshop on innovation in healthcare infrastructure using artificial intelligence and machine learning. So I hope you are enjoying this workshop since last 4 days and getting most out of it. So before we start, it's my honor to introduce our next speaker. Dr. Jayasankar Pillai is a seasoned academician and forensic odontologist with over 27 years of teaching experience at the Government Dental College and Hospital. And he holds a BDS from Mahatma Gandhi Postgraduate Institute of Dental Science and Master in Forensic Odontology with a gold medal from Gujarat Forensic Science University. He is currently pursuing a PhD at the National Forensic Science University. Dr. Pillai has handled over 500 medical legal cases and served as an expert witness in age estimation cases under the POCSO Act. He has published extensively in national and international journals and is actively involved in promoting dental research and forensic science. He is the honorary secretary of the Indian Association of Forensic Odontology and serves on the board of Director Odontology of the year 2023 and Excellence in Forensic Science 2024. So, welcome sir. Over to you.
I don't require a mic. Am I audible?
Yes.
So good morning all of you. So thank you very much for this kind introduction, and also my gratitude to IITRAM for inviting me and giving this platform to deliver speech on my expertise. So I can see all the young crowds here. So this is the future, isn't it? All of you are aware that today data science and all these is the future. Use of artificial intelligence, machine learning. So it has infiltrated in almost every aspects of science. So it's it's a diverse field को एक साथ मिला रहा है. That is what artificial intelligence is going to do in future. So in the last 4 days you have been witnessing what is artificial intelligence, where they are applied. So actually I am not an expert in artificial intelligence, but this is a platform for me to invite or to collaborate with experts from other fields. So this is what actually is the need of the hour. One person cannot do everything. So this is an example of how a teamwork can succeed. So experts from different fields should unite together so that this type of concepts are taken to a new level. So that is why I am here as a dentist, as a forensic dentist, and how I will be. I have used some of the concepts in my research now, but in future, how to collaborate with young people like you, other experts, other institutes like IITRAM, IITs and other institutes. So that is the main objective of today's lecture. So I will be talking about a brief about artificial intelligence, how we can apply in dentistry. It is actually going to be a toughest part from my side because I have to use a very normal terminologies in a layman's way to convince you for the in the subject of dentistry. So let us see how I can do it, and if you have any queries you can ask me, stop me anytime, and let us make it very interactive. Okay, so what AI can do in advancing oral health through innovations. We all know that the oral cavity is a gateway of our body. isn't it? So each and every one of us, we use our oral cavity for functions like the mastication, very important function. The teeth provide a very good function for chewing, mastication in the sense the chewing of the food, the speech, and very important the aesthetics, isn't it? How good you look is dependent on how set of teeth you have. So all these are the areas, the main functions of teeth. This is the basic things what you should know. So we will see like in this AI how we can apply any science. Already we have a lot of other branches where AI is already infiltrated. It's doing a very good work, like for example in the finance sector, in customer service, automation, all these things it is there. But healthcare is also a very important sector where AI has a very potential role. So why? Because AI assists in disease diagnosis. The main part of a doctor is to diagnose a particular disease. Then only the treatment plan can be decided, isn't it? The success of any clinician lies in its diagnosis. If you have not diagnosed what particular disease it is, the particular doctor cannot perform a particular management for that particular disease. So, it can assist in disease diagnosis, personalized treatment plans, drug discovery. Very important. Another way, how we can collaborate with other institutes like NIPER and how to design a drug based on our data. Okay? And also for research, general research. So this is how in health sector AI can transform, the application can be applied in health sector. Now dentistry, what is actually dentistry? It is a branch of science or a medicine. People used to ask, you have only 32 teeth and why you have a separate field, dental field, fraternity alag kyun? Because it is not only, the dentists are not only going to treat the 32 teeth in their mouth, but also its related structures. So the entire oral cavity, the diseases related to oral cavity, which has got a systemic influence on other parts of the body. So that is why dental branch is a branch of medicine that focuses on teeth, not only teeth, the gums, okay, entire mouth, encompassing the study, diagnosis, prevention, management, treatment of all the diseases, disorders, and conditions of the oral cavity. Not all diseases in oral cavity occurs by bacteria. There are also disorders developmentally also occurring in the oral cavity. Like for example, even a cleft palate, cleft lip is dealt by a dental surgeons, by a plastic surgeons. Okay, so it's not only the teeth which the dentists are concentrating, the other aspects of the oral cavity also. Okay, oral health is important for overall health. We all of us are brush, the brush not मॉर्निंग पहला उठ के क्या काम करते अभी अलग करते हैं पहला उठ के फोन ले पहला उठ के पहला काम फोन में कितना लाइक्स आया कल रात को डाला हुआ पहला काम वो होता है isn't it not brushing ब्रशिंग बाद में but ideally oral health is important for oral health because we first give preference to our oral cavity, we clean our oral cavity, then perform the other functions. So that is why oral cavity is a gateway and it is important for the systemic health of any individual. There are 9 branches of dentistry. Are you all aware? आपको पता है डेंटिस्ट यानी एक ही आदमी ऐसा नहीं है इसमें अंदर भी कितने बाइफर्केशंस है कितने स्पेशलिटीज है एमबीबीएस की बात भी ऐसा होता है पीपल आर some become a cardiologist, some become an oncologist. Specialties अलग अलग pediatrician अलग अलग होता है branches. So similarly, dentist may be assigned. After BDS, we need to do some super specialization. So there are 9 branches in dentistry, like oral medicine. These are the specialties who actually deal with the diagnosis of a disease. तो कोई भी hospital में जाओगे, the patient पहला OPD में जाता है. Is it clear? So when they go to the OPD, the specialist in that particular department, they see what is the problem and what is the diagnosis, what is the complaint. They ask the patient. So according to the complaint, they examine the oral cavity and they come to a diagnosis. By तुम्हारे इतना problem है, ये condition है. Is it clear all of you? So then, what treatment is required is decided by them. Then you have to go to the respective departments for the treatment. Is it clear? So like that, there are 9 different branches of dentistry, and another one more branch is going to be added in very soon. That is called forensic dentistry. So I am specializing in forensic dentistry, but till now the council has not recognized forensic dentistry, but in near future it is added as going to be added as another subject of dentistry. Okay, so these are all the several branches of dentistry, 9 different branches of dentistry. Am I clear, all of you? Clear? Current scenario in India, dentistry. Now we are slowly come into the reason why AI is got a potential in dentistry. Current scenario in India, we have nearly 323 dental colleges in India. Okay, almost every state they have got 1 or 2 government-run dental institutes. The majority of them are private dental institutes. So, 23 government, BDS colleges which they are giving undergraduate courses, MDS courses, master's degree. There are 281 dental colleges offering master's courses. So that means what? In each college, around 30 students are admitted per year for MDS. So you just can calculate the number of MDS students, specialists coming out every year. Total BDS seats are around per year is around 27,000, and total MDS seats is around 7,175. So this is the general data of the manpower. Faculties, right now in India there are 20,844 faculties in all the dental colleges combined. And in India now, as per the Dental Council record, there are 3,71,490 dentists, qualified dentists who are registered in council. This is the data. Now it's a huge data, but we do have a huge population, isn't it? Now all these 3,71,000 dentists, they have to serve the community, serve the public, serve the population of India. We have a population to dentist to population ratios. For every 5,000 population, we have 1 dentist. The WHO recommends around 7,500 to 10,000. 1:7,500 to 10,000 ratio. But we have, for every 5,000 we have dentists. So that means we have more dentists coming out, more colleges, more specialists. Okay. Now why I am talking about this is, not all these dentists are focused on clinicals. There is a better scope for research also in the field of dentistry, which even dentists don't recognize it. So that there is a better scope, use of manpower, use of data. So that is why this is the current scenario in India. Now the burden. इतने सारे diseases है, not all the public are not all aware. You see, 9 out of 10 adults suffer from major oral problems. Can anyone here tell that I am having 32 teeth, none of it is having caries? My oral cavity is ekdam sterile. I don't have a single bacteria in my oral cavity. Anyone? No, I can't. No one. No one's oral cavity is sterile, free of bacteria, free of disease. The smallest minor disease also will be there. Is it clear, all of you? So the burden is 9 out of 10 adults suffer from major oral health problem. One of the most common problem in this, Suche. What is the major cause? Cavities. Yes. What we call it as a decay, caries, cavities. Isn't it? Have you even experienced a visit to a dentist? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So I assume the major problem is for caries or for correction of mal-aligned tooth? Because young generation, most of them go for a correction of mal-aligned teeth. Aesthetic concern, isn't it? That's why we are who is a dentist. Isn't it? Okay. So at least the visit is there to a dentist. Now this is a general data, but dental industry also is a huge market. In future it is going to be in around $1,340 million worth market is there in the Indian scenario. So that means it's a business for many. It's a business for dentists. It's a business for the dental product. It's a business for dental dealers, isn't it? So like that, it's a huge market. So what the data are saying, that is why it is important. So AI moral healthcare system, this is the general application. हम क्या करते हैं? Patient आया, patient का data. We observe the patient. Why the patient came to us? What is the problem? We make a data. We just record the patient's data. See, this is how I slowly come into the data aspect of dentistry. Each and every patient provided data. Whether they provide or not, we are supposed to take the notes, demographic data at least. एक महीना में तुम्हारा कितना मेल पेशेंट आया, कितना फीमेल, that itself is a question when you ask any dentist. But today's India में आजकल की dental practice की success is decided by the number of implants a dental surgeon places in the patient's mouth. Is it clear? By the number of patients visit, the footfalls. These are all deciding the success of a dentist. So are they not giving any data? Yes. Now the second question, if I ask, एक बरस में तुम्हारे patient में major problem શું હતું? This is my research question. This is a question I ask. What is the major problem the patients bring when they come to your clinic? This is I am asking one dentist. This same question can be asked to all those 3 lakh dentists. Is it not generating a data? So based on that data, the government can decide a oral health policy. See this. Now the government relies on whom? The data analysts. That when they see the major problem for India in this year and this particular age group is this, so make a policy regarding to curtail that particular disease. So is the data not helping the government to decide the policy? So that is why dentistry was not focused on that aspect. Dentists are always, majority are focused on treating the patients, giving a relief to their pain. That is a major function we have to do, isn't it? दर्द लेने आया चले, दर्द लेने जाओ ये नहीं है. We have to treat that cause. So that is one aspect. But what is the hidden aspect is the data. The data need to be shared. The data need to be analyzed. So I hope all of you are agreeing to this. So that aspect now there will be a paradigm shift when many dentists who are qualifying in data analysis, who are more interested in data analysis, when they take up projects, when they start collecting the data, yeah, AI has a very potential. So all of you able to grasp what I am telling? So this patient data, from that data interpretation, when we interpret the data, we get some information. That information is data categorization that can help in diagnosis, deciding some policies, also treatment planning, and this is the cycle. So this is where AI has a potential role in the oral health care system. So dentist का role होता है diagnosis, treatment, prevention. That is also one of the roles. Research, ये neglected होता है. Now education comes before research, but research is the most neglected aspect in dentistry that is not ventured upon, and that is the reason data nahi available. Now how this can be overcome is by collaboration. Dentist has a knowledge about the oral cavity, about the disease. So when he tries to collaborate with other specialties like the data scientists, other people, now there is a scope for research. Is it clear all of you? So mainly in dentistry, research is taken as a part of their PG thesis. But nowadays that is also being, I hear many incidents of how the thesis are performed. outsourcing of the thesis is happening. So if really someone wants to do research, it's always going to be a team work. Okay? So this everyone should understand. This research part we come upon, it is just a systematic investigation of oral health, the diseases and related areas. Why we have to do this? Because we want to aim and we want to improve the patient care, come up with new innovative methods of treatment. Okay, and also equipment. So since 1991, I am in the field of 92. Since I am in the field of dentistry, I have been seeing there is a very stereotyped way of doing an examination of the oral cavity. Why can't we bring an innovation in that? Now, many people are taught, and that is how we have intraoral scanner now. That teledentistry has evolved. I perform the scanning of the teeth in one remote area, somewhere in another part of the world. The person can see and a specialist can see and he can do the diagnosis. Help me in the diagnosis. Teledentistry. These are all the evolutions of the innovations. How the innovation have taken place in our field I am going to highlight. The rest you also know in any case. AI in dental research, it's transforming dental research through. Still as I was always highlighting this, data-driven insights. Dentistry is now going to be a data-driven subject when we collect it properly. One simple example I was telling, I used to tell in all my dental conferences, I used to highlight this. It's a very thought-provoking concept. Now, as I told you, there are 320 colleges in India. In each and every college, on an average, if 50 teeth are extracted, दांत निकाल के स्टूडेंट ही करते हैं उससे, majority dental students दांत निकालते. कॉलेजेस की बात कर रहा हूँ. जैसे दांत निकाला, तो क्या करते स्टूडेंट को उनकी मेंटर या टीचर के पास बताना पड़ता है. सर मैंने दांत निकाल दिया, सही है ना? So the sir approves, oh, बरोबर अच्छा है, टूटा नहीं ना, बरोबर अच्छा निकाला, good. That is a sigh of relief for the student. Dr. Kushio, I hope you accept this. She was my student. Okay, so the first sigh of relief is, sir ने approve किया दिया. What immediate reaction to each and every student is, फेंक दो उसको डस्टबिन में. सर को नहीं, टूट गया. Tooth को dustbin में फेंक. Now that particular tooth is going into the dustbin. You know how much amount of data it is carrying along with it. Now we teach the first year students regarding the tooth size, tooth measurement and all. Now that measurement was given in a book which was written by some foreign author somewhere 18 years back. That book we are following now, and we are teaching the students. That central incisor का length होगा 23.5 millimeter. क्यों? हमारे बुक में लिखा है. But it's not the case. Everyone has a 23.5 millimeter tooth. When we start collecting data, before putting it into the dustbin, if we, the students, take that courtesy of measuring that tooth and generating a repository, big, nationwide. Why? Because 323 colleges में 50 दांत भी अगर रोज extraction होता है ना, तो सालाना 46 million teeth are extracted in India from colleges only. And if at least 1% of the tooth are in sound condition, यानी non-diseased condition, कितना huge data होगा per year. And if we start generating that data, and if we analyze the data, that standard book can be rewritten for Indian population. वो आने वाले dental generation के लिए काम आएगा. कि मैं हर conference में बोलता हूँ, हर young minds में ये ignite करता हूँ. Hope so that in near future, at least we get a measurement of the central incisor for Indian population, the average measurement, the mean. Is it clear? So that itself is a data. So why the data is neglected? Because this is an example. The objective of dental treatment is to relieve the pain of the patient. दांत निकाला, दांत पूरा आ गया, patient का pain relief. But that is why you put it, that tooth into the dustbin. That is carrying so much of information, so much of even DNA data it is carrying. Studies related to DNA also can be done using the teeth. Lot of research possibilities are there. But the problem here is that initiation is lacking. Here in India, especially in Gujarat, I'm sorry to say, southern part of India is well advanced in using dentistry as a research tool. But here, the concept of research is lacking because the objective of dentistry is purely separate, different. Okay, so that is why data-driven insight is required. Machine learning, deep learning, you know better than me, help analyze dental images. We take photographs of the patients, radiographs of the patient. कितने एक दिन में कितने एक्सरेज होते हैं इंस्टीट्यूट में, एक दिन में कितने क्लिनिकल फोटोग्राफ्स होते हैं पूरे इंडिया में. So is there any policy to decide like to collect all these photographs, of course under ethical concern? So huge amount of data can be used for this. So for you people, not dentists, so collaborate with the dentist or a dental researcher to collect this data, to collect this information. The rest you can use your insights, your knowledge to generate a model, AI model. It is not a dentist who is going to write this language, what do you call that, coding, isn't it? Python सीखने की जरूरत नहीं है dentist को, but he can help you in providing these study materials. So that is why we need to collaborate. AI accelerates research by processing vast data sets, identifying the trends. We are COVID ने बहुत लोगों का आँख खोला. कोविड आया तो सब पेशेंट को म्यूकोरमाइकोसिस होता है, ब्लैक फंगस होता है. वो ब्लैक फंगस किसको होता है? जिसको डायबिटीज ज्यादा था, जिसने ज्यादा एंटीबायोटिक, ये सब कहाँ से आया? ये डेटा से तो आया. This is an example of the post-COVID thing. So again, identify the trends and improving the diagnosis. Is it clear all of you? So this is where the AI can be advancement in diagnosis, treatment, and ultimately the patient care will be improved. Why AI in research? Human error can be minimized, of course, can be standardized. If I use any measurement tool and myself using the same tool after 1 week, subjected to intra-observer error. I am subjected to that data is subjected to measurement error. Or I give it to someone else to measure inter-observer error. You all understand what we mean by intra-observer and inter-observer error? But if I make an automation tool, whether I perform the tool or another one, the measurement is going to be the same. So like that, errors can be minimized. Enhances the predictive modeling for dental disease and also overcome treatment. So now we'll see how in separate branches, how AI advances the oral health through innovation. We'll see now. Yesterday I just put the keyword in the PubMed, artificial intelligence in the industry. ये word 1955 में coined हुआ, 1955, yeah, McCarthy. He coined that word artificial intelligence. बरोबर? तो मैंने सोचा डेंटिस्ट में कितने पब्लिकेशंस और 1953 से लेके 2025 तक कितने पब्लिकेशंस हुए ऑन आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इन डेंटिस्ट्री. शुरुआत में तो नहीं था, जैसे जैसे इट केम टू 2020 2019 के बाद the articles published increased. The number of articles you can see it's increased. So you can see for the last 10 years. Now since 2020 there is a steady increase in the number of articles published related to artificial intelligence in dentistry. Clear now? So now it's going to surpass this because we are now completed only 3 months. So still some more months to go. Hope this crosses the previous year's record. Now we still are under the low middle income countries, one of the countries here. So one particular publication has seen that what is the publication quantum, number of papers published in these low income countries. So here India, of course, we have a lot of publications related to artificial intelligence in the industry, and they also have given a heat map for how, which topic, particular topic are highly influencing this particular concept. There are wide varieties of this. In others, you can see there are more related to forensic dentistry also, because the application of AI has more scope in forensic dentistry. This is one question I prepared for the role of, I am sorry for the very smaller size screen here, cannot able to appreciate the fonts over here. So it's different aspects of the dentistry where artificial intelligence can have its influence. Now, make important, the most common problem in the oral cavity is the caries, done a sudden, decay, what we call. Now, in caries, actually it is a very easy, one of the easiest diseases to diagnose. When a patient comes and says, muh kholo, I see a dark spot in the teeth, it is understood. This teeth is undergoing decay. It is getting caries. But now, the artificial intelligence is going to use this type of images. In the oral cavity, it looks like this. As a decay, this is like spots. But in an X-ray, it looks like a radiolucent area, black area. Because teeth are mineralized. Caries is a demineralized. Caries is a demineralized condition. So here you will not appreciate the same whiteness what you see in the rest of the teeth here. Now this type of images, if you have large set, you can generate a model so that when you submit the X-ray, the AI program can tell there is caries, what is the extent of caries. So people have worked. There are a lot of publications done on this. So AI can easily recognize where all those radiolucent areas are there in the teeth. So like that, the algorithms were written. Okay, I am not the master of writing all those algorithms, but what we can do as a research perspective is, we can compare the results given by AI model and also use the expert model, physical examination by an expert, and we can try to see how much concordancy is there between the AI model and a dentist model. You understand now? If we have a very good concordancy, R value of anything greater than 0.75, okay, very good. That means there is a good concordancy, there is a good, what you can say, the acceptance of that sensitivity is good. So like that, we have seen certain publications having a sensitivity of caries detection, having a model 85% precision. This is based on their data set. So like that, if in future you want to do any such studies, government dental college is open for all this. You can share these X-rays, okay, and perform any other models. Okay, so this is how dentist tagging they do, and this is how the deep learning model can do. So all these algorithms are there written. So what we need is the X-rays. Now we have the X-rays, we have a DICOM file of these X-rays, and segmentation, that is a tool what it will be done, like image processing. They do all these things. You know better than me, and a lot of articles are being published related. So this is about caries diagnosis. So this is how it happens. There is another study which published in the same journal, but they have given a precision of around 63% when a between X-ray. This is called a between X-ray. The earlier one I showed was a intraoral periapical X-ray, IOP. So this is a between. So you can see now the use of which particular X-ray has got more precision, more accuracy in AI model. So that type of studies were also being undertaken. The second commonest disease in the oral cavity in human being is the gums problem. I will not use the technical or the scientific word. It is called as a gingivitis and periodontitis. but I will use for layman person like you here, it is a gums and periodontal problem. Now, just fact you all know that this is the tooth and it is surrounded by the bone. And what we see is the gums, the red color, the gingiva, masuda, the gums. So, it is covering, not everyone will have a healthy gums like this. See this? How beautiful, how good this picture is. Without any signs of inflammation, the normal, perfect oral hygiene. Not everyone will have, people can have something like this also. Isn't it? So you can see the contour, the gingiva, how nice these contours are, knife edged here. Here, you see, the contour is altered because of the poor oral hygiene. So if I submit this picture, if I have a picture like this in large numbers and I have generated a tool, AI model, so that it can even tell me, classify and tell me whether this patient is having an acute problem or a chronic problem, or you can even devise that in a pathology related models also. So what we require is only a picture, quality of picture like this to generate a AI model. Is it clear? So you can easily approach dentists to get this type of data and try to develop a model for this. The same problem, earlier it was clinical, but if I see the same problem in an X-ray, the height of the bone is reduced, because if the height of bone is good, the tooth will be held properly. The tooth will not be freely mobile. But if there is a weakness in the bone, or the height of bone is reduced, you can see this. This is normal bone height, but you can see the bone height is reduced here. So even X-rays can be used to generate a model for diagnosing a case of periodontitis. And not only this, if I put a bone graft and treat this case, the treatment for this is not extraction. We can do grafting. There are a lot of bone grafts available. So we just do a minor surgery, try to put the bone graft and try to assess the case periodically. So based on the height, we can even predict the prognosis of the treatment. Is it clear now? So this type of changes AI can bring out in near future. So this is one such example of periodontitis. So this is how I have already explained. This is your part, this is not my part. So this, the input data, the program, whatever it is there, it makes the sense and gives a picture like this. And based on the categorization, it can even give the diagnosis. Okay, and also predict the prognosis. So that when we give it to a patient and say, "Who are treatment karo to 50% successful," they say. The patient also gets some convincing, feedback from the dentist, like, yeah, there is worth spending money on this treatment. Is it clear? So we can use that AI model. So this has given a sensitivity of nearly 90, above 90%. The sensitivity is above 90% because this is purely a pixel-based, image-based technology. X-rays also can give a prediction of around 76 to 78%. Okay, so this accuracy level is detected when 78% more than performed by clinically by a dentist. So AI is superior in diagnosing this type of diseases. This is what the ultimate, outcome is. Orthodontics, that I think you people, young generation, know who orthodontists are. Many of you would have undergone treatment for the Baka Chuka dance, that crooked teeth. So your orthodontist would have applied the braces and they would have corrected. Now the concept of Invisalign and aligners, all these are there. This is again an innovation. But earlier, we used to apply this type of brackets and align the teeth. It's a lengthy procedure. It may take even more than 1 year to get it corrected. So now people want everything fast, isn't it? So on the spot, I want it to be corrected. How? So this is again an outcome of innovation. The Invisalign and all have come to the market. It's a huge industry. Now, how orthodontists can help? How AI can help in orthodontist research? Because when we have to perform a treatment plan, for ortho patients, I hope some of you have experience. When you go to an orthodontist, you would have prescribed some X-rays, data layout, profile X-ray layout, OPG layout, CBCT layout. You know, these are all the X-rays we advise. So based on that X-ray, they will do some calculations like what is your profile, what is the measurements, what is your facial height. So some mathematical calculations need to be done. Whether we have to go for extraction of teeth to gain space or without extraction we can gain space. So all these are in the treatment planning. That has to be done by an orthodontist. But now to make their work simpler, the AI model does everything. So when we submit the photographs of the all aligned teeth, it does all this CNN and EN and all this better. So they perform this type of tools, and we can even generate whether we go for an extraction of premolars or without extraction of premolars, the treatment can be done. So before actually the outcome of the treatment is there in the mouth, we can show it in the computer. So the patient, if they are convinced, then the treatment can be started. So this is how advancement is taking place. So to generate that points in an X-ray, earlier we used to do manually. This is ANS point, this is POG point. All these things we have to do it manually. But now when huge data like this cephalometric X-rays are given to the computer, it does automatically. It knows where is the point ANS and where is the point menton, everything it knows. So it does all the measurement, making the time short so that the decision can be taken very quickly by the dentist. So this is again the algorithm I came across is the YOLO, you only look once. This is the algorithm which was designed for this type of prediction, image analysis model. Okay, so critical in the diagnosis and also in the treatment. This is for orthodontist specialists. So like this, I'm telling for each and every specialist. Prosthodontists, they are the people who always deal with older ones. Orthodontists are lucky, they always deal with young patients. But prosthodontists, they deal with the geriatric group of. Why? Because they require a full set of teeth. As age advances, we lose our teeth. Remember? So when we lose the teeth, we also lose our aesthetic, functional disability, proper mastication not possible, chewing not possible, speech may not be possible. So we need to rehabilitate those type of people. How? By dentures. Again, in prosthodontic research, how AI is going to use lot of ways. There are several ways. It's going to be a one full day lecture on this, but I don't want to waste time. In a nutshell, I will tell now the concept of dental implants has gained popularity since several years. People don't want to go for a single tooth to be replaced with the support of two adjacent teeth. So they don't want to disturb the two adjacent teeth and put one in the middle, one tooth. So instead they go for implant. We just do a surgery, put a screw into the bone, and on that screw we just place a tooth, artificial tooth. This is dental implantology. So this is all coming under the prosthodontic rehabilitation concept. Even a complete denture, this kappa winter, no, I don't want to remove the teeth every day. I want a full set but to be fixed. But there is a fixation. How to fix it? So we put 4 implants in the lower, 4 implants in the upper, and we try to use this denture and a male component, female component with just plants. That's it. So this is how the treatment is required for this. So this is that branch of dentistry concerned with the design, manufacture and fitting of artificial teeth in the oral cavity. So patient's data, again I am coming back to the earlier one, the data. When a patient enters your clinic, the data generation starts. Basically from a demographic data, male or female, either by phone number, address, Aadhaar number, everything comes. All these things. Okay? Then the span of edentism, kitne saalon se aap bina daant kare. That also is very important factor in the success of in an implant or in a denture. So there are several models already generated. So we need to enhance this model with huge data for Indian population. These are all studies being done in a Western, non-Indian population. So we need to promote this type of research in our own soil. So that is the need of the art. Now advancements इतना आ गया. Now digital India पे हम transform हो गए थोड़ा. So now dentistry also is being digitalized nowadays. Gone are those days when we mix an alginate in a rubber ball and take an impression of the teeth. वो गया जमाना. मैं student था तब. But now people are starting investing in an intraoral scanner. It's just like a pen. You just take it to each nook and corner of the oral cavity. It generates the three-dimensional image of the entire oral cavity here. But this image can be transformed to a dental lab, and we can give instruction to the lab. I want a crown on this. So CAD/CAM technology is there. Computer-aided drilling and designing and milling. So this data can be also used for generating AI model. Is it clear now? So why I need that AI model? Because it can precisely tell me where should be the occlusal stops, where should be the pressure more, so that accordingly I can design the tooth model here. So that will be dealt by CAD/CAMs. This is the advancement. Is it clear? Of course, all of this comes with a price tag. Okay? So it's not only the technology which is improving. There is weakness of the patient's pocket also, that is also getting reduced. So with the money, it's improving. So it can help in designing the processes and determine each time whether I want to go for a removable type of denture or a fixer type of denture or an implant. Everything the AI model can tell. Sometimes when we tell, the patients are not getting convinced. But if we generate an AI model and give a report like this, this is what the system is generated. The patient gets convinced. Okay, sir, I got dental implant karna. This is going to make a okay. So prosthodontics, what data we get right from patient's head shape, because to decide the shape of the tooth, it's not blindly we take any artificial tooth and put it in the patient's mouth. We need to synchronize the tooth shape with their facial architecture. So the head shape, the facial height, the interpupillary distance, the size of the nose, all these are the data which is required to design one single tooth here. The incisor, it's not blindly. Then only the aesthetic value of this person will improve. If it just like that we do any shape tooth, it's not going to be convincing for the patient. So these are the data. Skin color also plays a very important role in deciding the color of the tooth. The value, hue and chroma of a tooth is required for this. So arch type, the data you can get from intraoral scanning. The facial proportions, ethnicity is a very important in anthropology. Certain ethnic population have a typical trait. This is my PhD topic. How Indian tooth varies in its shape, size in different parts of the country. That's what the topic I did for my PhD. So this ethnicity and anthropology data also can be generated from the patient. Okay? So so much data can be utilized for designing them. Very important and most required is how AI can be used in cancer research, oral cancer especially. I was surprised to know that Ahmedabad is ranking number 1 in oral cancer list, prevalence rate, especially the cancer of the tongue and the floor of the mouth and the buccal mucosa. The reason we all know. But I do enough, the reason we all know this and this, isn't it? So, this is the burden of cancer in India. Now, if we start using AI model to predict, there are several ways clinically, histopathologically, immunologically, every measures we can use to generate an AI model to reduce this cancer burden, to create an awareness and also to improve the quality of life. This oral cancer ka khasiyat khas ye hai because not all oral cancers start as cancer. They usually start as a pre-cancer. You understood now? Because when a person having a tobacco habit or an alcohol habit, when he is constantly putting the what do you call that, in the oral cavity, initially there will be slight changes in the skin. धीरे 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 ये white color में transform होता है. So that is an alarming sign. That is an indication. यार तेरे pre-cancer stage में है. Because I work in oral pathology department, we have seen a lot of cases like pre-cancers. So if the dentist intervene at that point of time and help the patient come out of that habit, this can be reversed to normal. अगर नहीं है तो लग जाइए, it will convert into a true cancer. So again, in the healthcare, oral healthcare, AI model can be generated. And as I told you already, the most common etiology is this, especially here in Gujarat. Okay? They do, very common to see people doing like this, isn't it? In each corners of the street, everywhere. They themselves don't know that they are rubbing their lifeline. Here. Jivan Rekha. Material. So, an awareness needs to be generated. So, AI model, कहाँ पे काम आएगा? How? Yes. Slide. The histopathology slides are very, very important because based on this is the slide, this is the tissue, based on the changes in the cell, the size, the cytometric analysis, they can generate a model, and based on that you can give whether it can be a reversible case or a irreversible case, or whether it can give a good prognosis or not. You understood? So you need to have a support of the pathologist to generate such model, because they can provide you the images or the slides like this. So using this huge data, and for your kind information, I am very proud to say that GDC, Government Dental College Hospital, Ahmedabad, was involved in a very landmark studies in 1974. In 1974, there was a study which is still now well recognized by WHO, by the first dean of the college, Dr. A.M. Mallawala. The study was done in 53,000 mill workers in Gujarat. And I am very proud to say all those 53,000 slides we are having in our department. Since 74, it is there. It is of my age now. It is still there. So we are inviting, in fact, if we can restain these slides and use a general AI model, so that all those 53,000 cases का हम prediction भी कर सकते थे. Like कितने लोग को क्या हुआ उस time. This type of studies can be done. So this is how we can use the AI model in cancer research. Now my field as a forensic dentist has a very good scope. I have been applying, I have been doing a lot of studies on AI, using AI. I always, as a forensic dentist, this is the other side of the coin. Dentist क्या करते हैं आपने देखा, डेंचर बनाते हैं, काका चुका दांत को सीधा बनाते हैं, सड़ा हुआ दांत को निकालते हैं या चांदी भरते हैं, ये अलग लाइन है. बट उसके अलावा भी डेंटिस्ट ये भी कर सकते. That means to reveal the truth from the tooth. So truth through tooth. So we generate the fact. ये मरा हुआ skeletal remain कितना एज हो सकता है. ये दांत से पता कर सकते कि ये स्त्री या पुरुष. अगर सिर्फ स्कल मिला, हिप बोन्स होता है तो 100% बता सकते हैं. But if we are not getting the hip bones, we are getting only the cranium of the skull. From the teeth possible है कि ये स्त्री या पुरुष. तो पुलिस को हम बहुत मदद करते हैं. We have done lot of cases like that. फिर sexual assault case में you all are aware of the Nirbhaya's case where there is bite mark on the Nirbhaya's body help in convicting the accused. So bite mark investigation, we have done one case of bite mark in our institute and investigations. Like that, there are several domains of forensic odontology. Forensic dentistry itself. Okay? Disaster victim identification. Every time whenever disaster happens, We have already seen a lot of disasters in our country, the Bhukam, earthquake, the Palasino, this Odisha train accident, Wayanad floods, and very recently in Disa fire accident, and last year in Rajkot fire accident, where many people were charged to death beyond identification, but teeth will never die. From the teeth, it is possible to identify a person. Is it clear? So that is why forensic dentistry has a very huge scope in your future also. So we can do sex identification from the teeth. We can do biological age estimation. So AI can help in biological age estimation. Because if you take an X-ray of a 6-year-old child, it may not be the same as a 16-year-old adolescent. It may not be the same as a 25-year-old adult. It will vary, isn't it? So depending on the stages of the teeth, several parameters can be used as a model, image analysis model, to generate a AI model from this. So if we just submit the OPG, the program will give a result. The age of this person is this much. Is it clear? So this type of changes are taking place. Uniqueness of the dentition, we all are separate by fingerprint also. That is why इतना confidently हमने आधार में दिया. हमें पता था कि हमारा आधार हमें fingerprint किसी के साथ match नहीं होगा. Discriminating power is huge. Like DNA also, but teeth also has got a huge discriminating power. So that is why Interpol ने बोला है कि there are 3 primary identifiers. Interpol, you all know, International Police Organization. It has given that 3 primary identifiers सबके लिए. One is fingerprint, second is dental. You see, this dental parameter is very, very important for identification. And third one is DNA. And India is a member country of Interpol, but very sadly, we are not encouraged to use the dental parameter for identification. Police wala always says, "Maro to DNA karwa." Charred body ho, to bhi DNA. Sometimes we can get a degraded DNA also, but teeth will never degrade. The teeth parameter, because it can in any. Whenever a body is burning, it is around 600 to 700 degree में burn होता है. जब भी burn होता है तो, but teeth can withstand 1800. See that? So when the body आदमी मर गया वो 600, 700 या 800 degree में, but teeth can survive till 1800. So that tooth is providing a vital information to the identification process. So that is why Interpol ने बोला है कि dental parameters को use करो. But ironically, very sadly, even before few days back, I tried to go to DISA for this identification, but we were only requiring only DNA. I was told that only DNA they do the identification, and sometimes they just like that give the bodies based on secondary characteristics. Secondary characteristics में क्या क्या आता है? Tattoo आता है, belt आएगा, chain आएगा, purse आएगा. All these are non-scientific methods of identification. समझना? But scientifically, they are important here: fingerprint, dental, and DNA. So we also have done some studies related to the age estimation of how we can use the image of OPGs, especially the developing tooth. You can see this tooth is not fully developed, so it is only half developed. So if it is undergoing development, it will increase in size. So use that area. We use that image enhancing the image software, so to generate a new model. I mean, it's a formula based. We found a very good correlation. We found a very good negative correlation, in fact, which is very, very significant. So as age advances, the tooth size, the crypt size ratio decreases. So that is the equation. So this we have done. We have published also in the Egyptian Journal of Forensic Science. So this we are going to continue for the AI model also. Okay, so we have a huge supply, we have a huge collection of this type of X-rays. We have done another study in Journal of Forensic Radiology and Imaging. When teeth are not there, is it possible to tell the age? Yes, we can use this gonial angle. So this was done manually using a in a images software, I have to drag lines and view. But such things can be used for a AI model. Like if I submit an X-ray, see there are no teeth. It's a geriatric patient, edentulous case. Even when teeth are not there, we can use the angle of this angle. This is called gonial angle to predict the age of a person. So this type of AI model we are working on. Palatal rugae, when you see in the upper part of you can rub your tongue and you see the rough surface of your upper part of your mouth. That is called as rugae. Like your fingerprints, the rugae pattern is also varying. It's not same for individual. It is unique. So we are using this rugae pattern also to correlate with the fingerprint and to identify a person. In fact, one of my students, she had done a quantitative analysis and she has developed a QR code based, identity. We converted all these values into a numeric value. We converted all this into a numeric value. And that numeric value was used. This is an innovative and for the first time we got copyright also for that study. So that rugae pattern also can be one of the area for research. You can use your AI model. I do not know how to use, but when we collaborate, it is possible that we can generate. This is a case where I can show that the rugae patterns are not same. This is through image overlapping, overlay technique. But if we do an AI model, it can be done within seconds, isn't it? Of submission of the inputs. But this I took only 3-4 days to prove that there is no concordancy in the scientific. Okay, so this is another area. This is a huge data. This is my PhD data. This is based on the teeth prints of different populations. So I visited 23 states of India for the last 3 years. 23 states of India, right from JK to Kanyakumari, except some states in the northeast where उस टाइम मणिपुर का दंगा चल रहा था, it was not allowed. So थोड़े states छोड़ के 23 states का data I collected. See this huge data. So we are now predicting. Now what we are showing in this is the correlation, the data, whatever the each data we collected, how much they are matching. This is called as a heat map, correlation matrix. You all know, your people of science, so you know what is a correlation matrix. So this correlation matrix can help us, in understanding which population data is similar to it. So you can see the more greener, the more stronger the correlation. The more red, the more weaker the correlation. So you can understand this because Maharashtra always one, so it's always green. So like that, when you see other areas where I can see there is a stronger correlation between this Maharashtra and Goa. See this neighboring, isn't it? So Madhya Pradesh and Goa. Haryana. This is Haryana and Goa. So having nearly 96%, 97% concordance. So this data we are going to use it for as using the AI model to develop. If I submit one particular person's data, it will calculate and tell me whether this person belongs to which state. So this is the future aim of the application of this data. So again I can tell that how the data science is going to help. The big data in dentistry will help us in identifying the patterns and also the trends in the data. So based on that, as I mentioned already, we can improve our patient management, patient treatment, also help the government in taking or designing certain policies for oral health care or general health care. So this is how AI and big data in dentistry can have its future. Teledentistry, already I have told how this can be used. Sitting at a distance, we can do a diagnosis. Drug discovery, again the last question. Ultimately, we can use based on the target molecules, where which particular drug for which particular disease. So like that, we can design. Use of certain bioinformatic concepts also, drug designing also can be utilized in this. So already some case studies are being done like for AI and Overcheck AI and Yogi. These are some of the available in the market, the AI tools in dentistry. These are, to name a few, there are several, but I can say that these are a few which are available. Now, some of our innovations, what we did in our institute for Dr. Divya, right now she is in New York, she is US there. So we did, with the help of teamwork, we collaborated with the engineers, experts. So this is just an image processing application where has got a very good potential for artificial intelligence also. Like we developed, we generated the images of several people's teeth, the bite. You know, we have taken a model of the upper and lower arch and we pressed that model on a wax sheet. So when I pressed it on the wax sheet, it created indentations. In that indentations, I applied, in fact, Dr. Divya, she applied the barium sulfate powder. Once she applied the barium sulfate powder and we made a cellophane paper on it and we took X-ray of that because barium sulfate is radio, you know, it creates a radio opaque density. So this is all the bite area. So this is our input image and the engineers friends there prepared an algorithm to identify the centroids. First the contour detection, then the centroid identification, and based on the centroid it can measure automatically the distance between the teeth. And this data we put for all the cases and we found it is significantly different. So that itself proves that there is uniqueness of the data. So this is our study in process of communication. Another model, Dr. Vaidhi, because today when Dr. Rahul Kumar called me, he said we are working on some sensors and all. So we also wanted to do, earlier we started, Dr. Vaidehi Verma, she was there, my student. We wanted to devise a sensor for a bite registration. We wanted to know when a person bites, what is the pressure, what is the force which is generated. So there are markets, there are availabilities there, but they are very costly. So we wanted to develop a very cost effective so that every dentist can have in their clinic like this handy instrument. Plus ask the patient to bite, it can create a value. What is the force? So that we wanted to devise, and of course we took one help of an engineer, Mr. Yash, but ultimately it was not completed because of certain issues. He had to leave India, so it's still pending. So we are still working on this sensor for a bite. So we have done a lot of homework thanks to Dr. Vaidehi for her commitment in this case. So we are still working on this project. The third one we are working, Dr. Kushi is here, so we wanted to work again. She came out with the concept of, so there are smoke analyzers, there are alcohol analyzers there. So for a person who is telling, because when we ask a person with a oral cancer, I want to जिंदगी में तंबाकू नहीं खा, झूठ. Patients tell like that. Sometimes when the patient come for a scaling, we give a little bite. તમે બીડી પીના આવો છો ખબર નથી પડતી, તમે ડોક્ટર પાસે આવો ને બીડી પીના આવો ના સાહેબ હું તો બીડી ટચ જ નથી. See this kind of झूठ. So we thought यार हमारे पास ऐसा कुछ इक्विपमेंट होना चाहिए जो वो झूठ बोले हम डालेंगे मुंह पे वो बता देगा तो सुने कितना स्मोक एनालाइज. So that's the concept she brought, and we are still in the process of working, and so anything like which can quantify by tune kitna smoke hai, because that has direct relation with the cancer probability. The what you call the quantification, the frequency, the amount of pack hours, what you call that. Like that, padiki ma pack hours kya hai? Padiki hours hai. So we wanted to quantify that. So this is still she is working and hope we do it very soon. So future trends क्या होगा? ये तो I just given only tip of iceberg. ये पूरा one day workshop सिर्फ AI in dentistry पे हो सकता है, but time constraint and I have just given a brief introduction. I wanted to have a collaboration. The objective is to collaborate with other experts. So that is the aim. So autonomous systems, human AI collaboration, and ethical concern, which is very, very important. So these are all the future trends we need to understand. Thank you very much for your time.
said that you can, the Ruga pattern which is there, you can correlate that with the fingerprints. So what if they have cancer there? So then how can you identify?
Cancer in Ruge pattern, cancer in palatal Ruge is very, very rare. The oral cavity cancer occurs mostly in the tongue, lips and buccal mucosa. But as you asked me, there are studies which have correlated the fingerprint with dental caries and also with precancers. My own study is there, where we took the fingerprint and based on the fingerprint patterns, it is possible for us to predict whether this person will have caries or not. So there is a DMFT index, what we call it as. So based on the fingerprint, it is also possible to predict cancer also, precancer also. So, but palatal rugae to predict, it's not possible. Because already it has been well established that it is in the oral cavity only. But fingerprint and oral cancer, we can try to link. Okay, even though the concordance is very less, but yeah, possibility is there, provided if you have a very huge data and use an AI model, yeah, some different results can be. Anyone? Yeah.
So suppose a person has a cavity or a caries in his mouth, can we take the bacterial sample from there and analyze the data of the colonies present in his sample, and then we can give a particular antibiotic or a medicine that can treat the particular bacterial colony or so?
Okay. हमारे धंधे के आगे yeah, it is possible. See, that is what we call it as caries susceptibility test. We do the colonization, oral swab. We try to find the number of colonies per sample, and based on that, we can tell this person is having susceptibility to caries very advanced or mild or moderate, like that. Okay, but oral hygiene is different. You cannot take a bacteria from a cavity and put medicine into that. It is an innovative thought, but the treatment, standard treatment is prepare a cavity and do a restoration, filling. Okay, filling cannot be medicine, but it is just to have a, should be compatible with the tooth structure. Like that we can.
So, but it can be like in a encapsulated form in a type of dental implant only, but in form of a medicine too, with it, induced with it.
Dental implant कैसा है?
सर जैसे कि हम लोग सीमेंट या कुछ इम्प्लांट करते हैं डेंटल कैविटी के अंदर, तब उसके साथ अगर हम मेडिसिन मिक्स करके डाल दें तो फिर वो रीग्रोथ होने का चांसेस कम हो
Root
जाएगा.
canal treatment में हम वही करते हैं. Endomethasone we used to mix with what we call that zinc phosphate cement or zinc oxide eugenol. These are the cements we use. We can even use tetracycline powder. Sometimes we use the innovative method. The thought is correct. We have already done tetracycline capsule is because tetracycline is more sensitive for the anaerobic organisms. Okay, so when we use the tetracycline powder or even sometimes metronidazole powder, we mix it with the cement and right. But these are all what we call this jugaad or this innovative system, but not a standard textbook system. Yeah. Anyone? So I assume that all are from science background. Yeah.
Thank you for the session, sir. Sir, I would like to ask two questions. In near future, what type of possible things are you looking forward where you have this case and then you want to make a model? For example, you displayed like the Euro model currently, which solves the current problem. So, what type of problems are you now in future looking? And the second question is like, if we want to do some possible collaboration, so do we have a sharing your college or something?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, the first question is like, where are the major areas where we can apply this, isn't it? Like, of course, as I told you, I am a specialist in forensics. I have got a separate set of, research questions for my field. But when we talk about clinical, there are also a very important potential way is image analysis. Like me and Kushi, we already tried to, use the colorimetric value scale. Like this buccal mucosa having a white lesion, precancers will be white in color. So if I can devise, we tried this, we can devise a colorimetric scale where I can scan that buccal mucosa and it will give me a prediction model. How much percentage this particular site will get cancer. So we can apply our intervention based on the output. So that is, oral cancer is always going to be, because it is life threatening. Very, quality of life is very much affected in colon cancer. You would have seen patients going for surgeries and all, how disfigurement happens. So that is always going to be the priority. You should apply AI where life-threatening diseases are more, there we need. Not like I can say, caries research, caries identity, and anyone can do. But as a research point of view, you can devise an AI model. But for a patient perspective, we don't have to depend on technology always. So always it's one question I always put in your mind. Don't be 100% dependent on technology. थोड़ा हमारा grey matter भी काम करना चाहिए. तो वो थोड़ा apply करो. This is the tagline I always give. थोड़ा अपना बुद्धि भी use करना चाहिए. Our own commitment should be there. Not always 100%. I agree that technology is going to help, but not always. जहाँ जरूरत है, like oral cancer prevention में काम करना ही है तो वहाँ ज़्यादा apply करो. लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग डिजीजेस को, जेनेटिक डिसऑर्डर्स को, बच्चा पैदा होते बहुत जेनेटिक डिसऑर्डर से, वहाँ अप्लाई करो. लाइक दैट आई कैन से. द सेकंड क्वेश्चन इज हाउ वी कैन कोलैबोरेट. जब we do have SSIT cell in our institute. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we are going to have a meeting. So we can approach the head of the institute. You can come with a MOU sort of thing, so that exchange of materials can happen only with MOU. Just like that, it is not possible. We do have an ethical committee also in our institute. Whenever we are using biological samples, we need to take ethical permission. I already told you in the last question, ethical concern is important. Even though you are working on AI, we need to use ethical permission from the institute. So that also we have in our institute. So materials, as I told, 53,000 slides we are having. So something new can come out of that. OPGs, X-rays, every day hundreds of X-rays are taken. So those data can be used. So Government Dental College is always open for research and innovations. So you are welcome with proper paper work.
Thank you very much, sir, for such an insightful session. Now, as we move forward, it's my honor to, I would like to request Dr. Rahul sir to kindly share. Larry has received
Okay, see, interview hour.
अभी आप टी ब्रेक के लिए जा सकते हो, बस अगली 5 ही मिनट में आ जाना, 5 मिनट थोड़ा टाइम जस्ट कम विद इन 5 मिनट्स।